Hello guys. Hello mate. Okay, compose myself. Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. How long has it been? Hasn't been too long. I think it's been under 2 weeks. As I said, I'm going to try to be more consistent, and I figured what better way than to discuss something that has affected me, and I think has affected a lot of people that followed me, in that they didn't know that they should be looking out for this kind of thing. So I'm going to be talking about fibroids, my myomectomy, and my myomectomy, basically the fibroid removal procedure, and answering some of the questions that you guys put forward as an emotional response to what you're exposed to all the time. You just like check out. So I needed somebody who hadn't checked out and was still in it, loved it, you know, not to say that the first one didn't, but yeah, the new one, she's there. No. What was interesting is that when I did my examinations, they both asked me if I had any symptoms and there was anything that made me feel like, I need to check. Not really. There was like small things, like when we're doing coitus, I could feel like a pain that wasn't there before, that was there now. So definitely there was that, but it was like inconsequential. It was just like sometimes. And then a lot of the times what they'll say is that you should look for heavy bleeding, change in your period, change in your hormones, weight gain, weight loss. It's just like if your body's just not doing the way it's supposed to. But my body was just fine. I mean, I had a bit of weight gain, but I thought that was kind of normal because of COVID and all of those things. So yeah, it was just, the doctors were just surprised that I didn't have any symptoms. And I think it might be due to the fact that, as my doctor explained it, that me being on Yasmin, so Yasmin, of all the pills that you have out there on the market, it's probably one of the better ones in that it mitigates a lot of the symptoms, like people that have endo or just complicated periods and all those type of things. Often they'll recommend Yasmin to help stabilize things, stabilize your hormones, and it has the least amount of effects. So it might have mitigated the pain I should have felt from my fibroids and basically made them undetectable. The one thing I did notice, which this was only post me finding out that the fibroids had gotten quite hectic, was my lower abdomen was bigger than I expected it to be, given the fact that I've been working out, eating right, and all of that. No matter what I did, like, it just wouldn't go down, you know. So I have like this little fupa, but like the fupa is just like a little bit disproportional to my body. And with extreme cases of fibroids, you can find a woman looks pregnant, you know. So that is also one of the things maybe you should look out for. When I was exploring the options for the type of procedure I could get, doctor number one went like extreme. She was like hysterectomy or myomectomy. And then there is a laparoscopic option, but I wasn't eligible for that. And that basically means a laparoscopic is they don't open you up. They go in through all these strange ways, through your belly button. Yeah, she explained to me, and then they just like chop up the fibroid in your body. But with mine, they were quite advanced, and they were growing so rapidly that wasn't an option. So they basically did, I call it a C-section, but it's in terms of how it's done, like they cut you open basically like a C-section, but you won't have the same type of recovery as you do if you have a C-section, in that you need to you're literally cutting things out of your body. So I had 13 fibroids, and those 13 fibroids were developing fibroids, and then they were fusing together, so it was just causing chaos. They weighed about the weight of a 5-month-old baby. Yeah, I mean, who would have thought I was carrying all this stuff with me? If I were to show you what it looks like, it's basically this. Yeah, it's about this wide. And there's different ways that they do myomectomies. So some it's like a perpendicular this is perpendicular cut, or it's the straight line, right? Mine is a straight line. It's about this big. It is just below my bikini line. And so there's different ways that they can also close the incision. They can either like stitch it together, or they can burn it together, or they can glue it together. And I think they glued mine. So my scar is quite small. Like, I'm very happy for that. It's not even like in terms of the width. It's so small. You can see it. Like, it's not like it never happened, my surgery, but it looks like, basic description, it looks like you glued skin together. And then there's that, it looks like, yeah, it kind of looks like that, And in terms of the pain, post-op, so in the hospital, the pain wasn't so bad. Like, the pain wasn't so bad because I was on a lot of drugs. But leaving the hospital, that was very interesting, coming home and adjusting to not having all those drugs pumped in your system was quite a lot. It was difficult for me to sleep. It was difficult for me to eat. It felt like, to sum it up, it felt like bad, what is it? A bad bladder infection.
So, oh, jeez. Okay, yeah. So it's been 2 weeks. So it's been 2 weeks since my op. How am I doing? I don't know, actually. Like right now, I have a pain. And I just wanted to film this because I just wanted to like show whomever does this operation like what they could potentially go through. But it's not hectic. I thought it was gonna be a lot worse. It's okay, like I can actually walk and I can like sit up. I just can't like sit up for long. That's why I'm like angled like this. So yeah, I think that my healing process is going all right. I feel like I'm getting less pain because right now I have pain, but it's manageable pain because I'm not on painkillers. So that is for me an indication that things are getting better. I don't want to be on painkillers all the time. So I take painkillers twice a day instead of like four times a day now. Because I just feel like it's just overkill. I feel as though like my body is obviously like trying to regulate itself. So I've gotten like a bit of a hormonal breakout like around my chin area. What else? Oh my gosh, I keep getting like hot flashes, and I think I'm having side effects from the anesthesia. So there's various side effects you can get from anesthesia, but I've been getting like hot feet, and I have hot feet in general, but like my feet are like burning, like sore, like I've walked on coal type. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the only like really annoying thing. Oh, and the fact that like when I'm lying down, I struggle to find like a really comfortable position. But other than that, like I'm not in like crazy pain, like I want to die. I'm just uncomfortable. And like as I said, like I have like this pain. It feels like something is poking me, and I think it's because of my stitches.
But it's not like I didn't feel like I was gonna die, or like I wanted to cry at any point. I think if you have like bad period pains, you'll be fine. Like, it's not something that will be like, oh my god, I can feel it, like, it's so painful. It was sore, but it's a livable pain if it's managed with the pain meds. The thing for me with this like healing process is that people told me within 6 weeks I'll be back to normal, and that was absolutely not the case. And I think that's the one thing that I really want people to understand about this, is that everybody's case is different. Fibroids, like I got so many messages of support, and oh, my friend had this, and my aunt, no. But my case is different to their case, and I get that people are also trying to encourage me, but some people told me, yeah, I'm going to be fine within 2 weeks, and that gave me like a false expectation of my recovery. I'm in the 7th, going on the 8th week, and I'm still not 100%. I still can't sleep on my side. I'm still tempted to touch where with where the stitches were done internally. So yeah, just if you're gonna go in this process, just know your case is different from mine to the next person, and just listen to your doctor. Your doctor will help manage your expectations. In terms of the causes, there's a lot of stuff online. It's all kind of it's very confusing. And with the stats being 1 in 2 black women having fibroids, it's kind of like, oh, you want to know, how can I prevent this? I mean, one of the things that I've seen is that there's a correlation between relaxer use and fibroids. There've been studies, Google them. The food that we eat that are pumped with hormones. What was the other thing? Genetics is a big thing. If you have somebody, like if your mom had fibroids, you're most likely to have fibroids, which was, I think, the case with me, but my mom didn't really know. It's very complicated, but my mom didn't know she had fibroids. I think she does, and it's just a long story. So I think those are the main things that I've seen they attribute fibroids. So genetics, the stuff that we eat, relaxes, it's crazy. What I'm going to be doing going forward in terms of looking after my body, looking after myself, is I've decided to just change certain things in my diet, exposing myself a lot less to hormones. So I've cut eggs, I've cut milk. I'll have if it's in cake, I'll eat it, but I used to be a person who'd eat eggs every other day, have cereal, I love cereal. So I've made the changes, switching over to almond milk. Those little things I think might make the difference. And from all the people that I've looked at online, they've made those type of changes where most of them have actually gone vegan, especially women in Ghana and etc. So that's another thing to note, is apparently the higher you go in the continent, the more likely you are to have the ability to have fibroids. And they're saying that our generation of women are just getting fibroids a lot more because we are not having not having children as early as the generation before us. So it gives the womb opportunity to develop these things, and these things just take up space because there's no baby in there. So I'm not saying rush and have a baby. I'm just saying that that's one of the things that have attributed to apparently the statistic changing. So in terms of what's to come in the future, I don't know. The results of the surgery are also still unknown for me, because the doctor said she needs to do something like a dye to check that there's enough movement and all the passageways are clear in my womb because of where the fibroids were. And in terms of being able to have natural birth versus being forced to have a C-section in future, I don't know, I've seen so many different contrasting thoughts about this. A lot of the times they'll tell you if you've had a C-section, you cannot have natural birth afterwards, but it kind of just depends on your doctor, the severity of your case, and what level or the health or stability of your pregnancy. So I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. We'll see what the doctor says. And yeah, I had my first period I had my first period literally the day after the surgery. Woo! That was so lit. That was the part that was painful. Woo! Yeah. So if you're gonna have a myomectomy, just brace yourself for that first period. In terms of the cost, I had medical aid, but my medical aid didn't cover the surgery fully. This whole process is expensive, guys. OBGYN or gynae, it's 2,000 Rand a consult. And the procedure itself, for me staying in the hospital for 3 days was 50,000.
50,000.
Yeah. And then there was still the meds, it's expensive. So if you can try get medical aid, save for a friend, like it's oof. And I imagine that there are organizations that can help. I know with public hospitals, if you have a severe case, they will find a way. If it's affecting your ability to live life, which for some women it is, having fibroids and endo, and any kind of stuff going on in your womb, if it's debilitating, then the government will cover it, but it's just a hectic process. One more thing about what's to come in the future. The doctor asked me to not try conceive within the next 2 years. A lot of people are like, girl, now that you've had the surgery, you need to try have a baby immediately. And that's the feedback that I got from the first gynae I was at, and this doctor was like, dude, your womb has been through the most. You need it to recover for 2 years, otherwise you're going to have a high risk pregnancy. So I cannot try have children for the next 2 years. I'm going to switch over from the pill to an IUD, because I'm back on the pill now because the doctors asked me to use Yasmin she said, to help rebuild the lining of my uterus. So yeah, that's what I'm doing currently. And yeah, like, how do I feel in general? Like, I feel okay. Like, I do feel lighter. My stomach it has days where it's flat and there's days where it's not flat, which is, I don't know, it's confusing, but at least like I can see that there's a bit of a difference that has come from me having the surgery. It was quite an emotional, it's been an emotional journey, and I know that it's not over. So I would encourage you to like check your circle, the people that are going to be involved and have access to you during this process. Got to keep it tight because it is a lot emotionally. You just, the shame that I first went through when I found out about the fibroids, which is weird because there was nothing that I directly did that caused this, but it's just one of those things that as women we go through. We shame ourselves, we compare ourselves to others, feel like, oh my gosh, my body's not good, it's crap, and then I did this to myself, and I felt like that for the longest time. Then I just realized like this is part of my journey, something that I need to overcome, and no matter what the future holds, I've just got to, I've got to adapt, I've got to take on what life gives me and try to make the best of it. And yeah, guys, I think it's a good way to end my experience with the myomectomy. If you have any questions, please comment below. There were a lot of things, and I actually don't think one video was enough to get through all of this. But yeah, it's just like a brief spiel of my experience. Please don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, share your story, encourage another woman to go to a gynae, because a lot of women I know had not been to gynaes in years. So yeah, please guys, just look after your body, pay attention to yourself, go to the doctor, do your checks, all those things. I wish our parents and schools had told us about this stuff, but it is what it is. We are here now. And yeah, just look after yourselves, and once again, thank you for joining me on my channel, and I'll see you next time.